so I was perusing online the other night. Angry Dog. And I found myself a Roanoke Vintage Motorcycle group here in town. And it just so happens they meet every Wednesday, I think. Or at least they're meeting this Wednesday at a local brewery. So we're going to go over there. But this looks like the old Honda might have some friends in town. So we're gonna go see if we got some friends for him. Because as we know, ooh, a little squeak out of the rear brakes there. As we know, my Honda got bullied at the Roanoke Harley-Davidson meet. So just need to find like-minded people, you know. Dungeons and Dragons guys don't always hang out with jocks, you know what I mean? And you can decide which one of those Harley or vintage motorcycle guys would be Dungeons and Dragons and which would be jocks. And that's your own bias. Whatever you just thought there, that's your own internal bias. You created that, not me. I didn't say anything. So, but let's find out what it's like. I'm just going to let you ride along here and enjoy the sounds and sights of Roanoke, Virginia while I head over to Parkway Brewing. Pretty good chance of rain showers popping in and out throughout this afternoon, so it may discourage a few people, but I've heard at least 2 will be there, and 2 is enough for a friendship. Ah, yes, election season. Look out for motorcycle, Subaru. Oh, shifted into neutral like a squid. I mean, who's to say I'm not a squid? You guys don't even know me. You know, I could be that guy. I wonder what the squid of the 70s was, you know, like now you kind of think squid, you're thinking dude with a t-shirt or a sweatshirt and maybe some jeans, you know, if he's feeling safe that day, some flip-flops or some Vans, no gloves, a helmet that's 10 years old and outdated. Huh. Wonder what the person from the 70s would be wearing. Who are they? Drop that in the comments. Maybe like a button-up t-shirt and some corduroy bell-bottoms. Although that was cool back then, I think. So that might have been the cool guy. Cigarette hanging out of his mouth, aviators. Easy rider looking type folk. Kind of sounds like we dropped a cylinder. Yeah, we might have. Maybe not. Camera, it probably sounds like I am absolutely just on it everywhere I go, but I'm not. I promise you, I'm only going 40 miles an hour right now. Oh, excuse me, we're in a 35 now. I'm only going 35 miles an hour. YouTube. Here we go, the historic Salem VA Medical Center, where I get all my healthcare needs. Surprisingly not that bad. At least that's been my experience. You can feel it in the air though. It does feel like it's trying to change on us and turn into some weather. But if we got to ride home in the rain, it's fine. It's like a 10-mile ride. These mirrors are terrible. I gotta go back to stock. I wouldn't know if a cop was behind me trying to pull me over right now. I would have no idea. Frontline Eurosports, BMW, Triumph, Ducati. Oh, and Indian. I forgot about that. Interesting. What the hell's he doing? You know, I did a tune-up on this bike not that long ago. I just did like carb rebuild, did spark plugs, did plug wires, did all of that stuff. I didn't replace the coils though, and I noticed on 4-into-1 website, who they sell a lot of the replacement parts for this. Awesome website. If you have a CB500 and you don't know about 4-into-1, go check it out. Not sponsored, because, well, look at I got 4 videos out. Not sponsored. But they have all kinds of tune-up kits, and they sell coils. And I'm wondering if those are good coils or if they're just cheap coils. You know, would I be better trying to find some better stuff? But I can't imagine a genuine Honda part from the 70s would be much better at this point with old electrics. I don't know. Would that be something that would be bad to buy new old stock coils for this thing? Let me know. I have no idea if that would be better or worse than trying to buy the remanufactured coils that 4-into-1 sells. But I think it could use for some coils. Might replace the rubber boots on the carbs as well, because I've not totally got these carbs dialed in, and I think it could be maybe some vacuum leaks and stuff. It's pretty common on 50-plus-year-old rubber to have those failures. So something to think about, something I might have to do, because it's rideable and it rides well and it runs pretty good, but it's just not perfect. And this bike deserves to be totally mechanically perfect. The threat of weather is all around us. Parkway Brewing. There is a decent chance that I'll be the only one here. But let's play it by ear. Pay no attention to that oil light. It goes away there, but it's literally just a sticking oil issue, or a sticking pressure gauge issue. It's not actually low on oil, I promise. Leave at the bike night. Met a really cool dude, and finally I think I might have found some people to hang out with. It was just him tonight, but apparently there's a bunch of them, and they are all into old vintage motorcycles, and they're just they're fun, quirky people like I am, and I love that. So yeah, we're gonna give this a go for a little while and see what's up. Every Wednesday here in Roanoke, we're gonna come over here, meet some people. Although I think we have a problem with the old CB500, if I'm being honest. You hear how it doesn't sound right? Unfortunately, I think I've got a head gasket letting go on the right side, and so we've got to We've got to hang up the CB500 for a little bit. I've got a gasket set at the house, so I'm going to get it replaced, but it's unfortunate. Riding late into the night. It's only like 8:30, but you know, still late into the night for an old man like me. Gauges are starting to pop off. See that green light? I can't remember the last time I rode a vintage bike at night. That's a spooky endeavor. Anything can happen. Thing breaks down, can't even see what you're trying to look at. iPhone's about to die, and there you are, stranded half a mile from your house. Totally safe, in no danger whatsoever. Adventure motorcycling at its finest. Yeah, don't know what that was. But I could be wrong about the gasket thing. It just looked like there was some residue right around the head gasket on the right side, and I think cylinder number 1 I think is the number on this bike, so the right hand outside cylinder, and it is maybe nothing, maybe something. I'm going to do a compression check on this thing, make sure that it's good to go and within spec. Hopefully it is, and I'm just crazy. The performance seems fine, it's just making a weird noise. I don't know what it is. So we'll get it checked out. We'll put it on the operating table. Not even the operating table yet. We're not at that point. We are not ready to do that. We are conservative care. We are going to send this thing to get a compression check, some diagnostic testing, and then we'll decide on whether or not she needs surgery. You know, surgery at a last resort. I don't want to take this thing apart. We don't want to put this bike at any unnecessary risk. There are indications and contraindications for every procedure you have, and you know, top end head gasket, you know, that's routine, but anything can happen. Okay, we're not talking about some kind of brain surgery here. This is like a total knee being done here, or maybe it's like the engine is like the heart of the bike, right? So this is more like yeah, we're gonna say it's putting a stint in. Nothing too crazy, but you know, stuff happens, okay? And I'm gonna be the surgeon, and to be honest, I'm gonna be in a bad mood that day because I do not want to tear apart the top end of another 4-cylinder motorcycle. It is not my favorite thing to do. I've got one that's been on the table long enough that I need to get put back on the road. I do not want another one. I do not get paid extra for these surgeries. I get charged extra. But right now, it's behaving. The guy that I met, I think he is willing to do some cool, kind of crazy challenges with some small bikes. His thing is like small bikes. He's got a BMW R65, I think he said, but other than that, like everything he owns is small, like mopeds, trail 90s, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I got small bikes, he's got small bikes, we should do something stupid like camping trips, long distance camping trips on small bikes, or I got the TC50 in the garage, like maybe do like a ultimate trail build and That one could be more complicated because it doesn't have a title, but I can figure that out. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited because I kind of brought that up to him and he was like, hell yes, yes, absolutely, we should do that. So that was encouraging. I'm gonna cut the camera because really smart people could figure out where I live already, but not everybody else knows where I live. So I'm gonna turn it off. All right, so we are back at the house. It is not the same day, but I'm going to go ahead and do a compression check on all 4 cylinders, even though I suspect that it's the right side. Cylinder number 1, I think, is what we discussed. So I'm going to take some basic tools, spark plug wrench to remove the spark plug, little multi-sized wrench here just to go on the end to open it up and loosen it. And I've got my compression gauge, my tube, and my adapters, and then shop manual as reference. My shop manual, even though it's from Honda, it doesn't specify in the manual exactly what the compression should be. But honestly, if I've got more than 120, I'm going to be pretty happy, given how old it is and how many miles are on it. So let's get over to the bike and start working on that. I'm going to do a cold compression check, and if everything looks good, then we'll probably do a warm compression check to see if it changes, and by how much. Let's see. All right, let's give it a try. Oh boy. All my connections are tight, so let's try the other ones. Okay. It could be that my gauge is the problem, or it could be that it is actually low on compression across all the cylinders, which, if you look down in here, don't mind the dog in the background, it does look like it's getting a little bit of blow by right there. If we come back out, potentially a little bit along here as well. So the compression's not great. The gasket could be the problem. So after a quick compression check, like I said, it could be the gauge that's the problem because it's reading consistently low across the board. But if it's a head gasket and it's getting blow by in multiple places, it could be that we're having a head gasket issue here. It could also be, valve adjustments, but every single cylinder having the same compression, I'm not sure if that's the issue. I am certainly not a diagnostic expert when it comes to compression testing. I don't have any way to do like a leak down test to see if it's rings or what's going on with that. But I would not be surprised if it does need a head gasket. So, like I said, I hate working on 4 cylinders. It's a bit of a process, and it's running pretty good right now, other than it's just got low compression, so it's down on some power. This is very low priority for me to fix at the moment. And I have a backup engine right there, and that one has good compression. So if I really wanted to, I could swap these engines, but I want to keep this as original as possible. So definitely a project for the future, but not a project for today, because over there on that stand, I have a CB500 1984 Nighthawk that I just did a top end rebuild on that. It had over 30,000 miles on it, and I need to get that off the stand first, and it's waiting on a few carburetor parts. So we're just going to leave it like it is, and we're going to tinker with some other bikes, and I'll probably still ride this around a little bit. I've still got my Concourse and the Suzuki over here that I can take out for rides if I want to. So yeah, let's just leave it like it is, because I don't need to spread parts around this garage right now. My cat Bonnie agrees. She doesn't think we should either. Come here. Come here. So I think I'm just going to leave this thing sit here for a while the way that it is. I don't want to do a whole lot of work on this at the moment. So if you're a Honda guy, a Honda Whisperer, you've had one and you've rebuilt these before. I know Classic Octane out on YouTube has a bunch of stuff about this. So maybe I'll go back and watch some of his videos. But yeah, I hope I'm missing something, and that you guys can drop it in the comments that I should check X, Y, and Z before I start tearing into this engine, because I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. I have too many projects in here, and I don't need another project. And I'm trying to unload a couple bikes right now because I'm trying to make room for a new one here in the garage, because I have a nice one-car garage, perfect for a motorcycle shop, but not good for a motorcycle hoarder like myself. So anyway, join me in the next one and drop it in the comments if you can help. Give me a like and a nice subscribe, because you may be watching a CB500 build here in the next few weeks. So, all right, till next time. Thanks, y'all. I'm your riding buddy.